Good day, this is TORREGOSA and my topic is all about writing a research methodology. How to write a research methodology. In your thesis or dissertation, you will have to discuss the methods you used to do your research. The methodology chapter explains what you did and how you did it, allowing readers to evaluate the reliability and validity of the research. It should include the type of research you did, how you collected your data, how you analyzed your data, any tools or materials you used in the research, and your rationale for choosing these methods. So here are some steps in writing the research methodology. So step 1, explain your methodological approach. So begin by introducing your overall approach to the research. So what research problem or question did you investigate? For example, did you aim to systematically describe the characteristics of something, or to explore an under-researched topic, or establish a cause and effect relationship? And what type of data did you need to achieve this aim? Did you need quantitative data, which is expressed in numbers, or qualitative data, which is expressed in words? Or did you need to collect primary data yourself, or did you use secondary data that was collected by someone else? Or did you gather experimental data by controlling and manipulating variables? Or descriptive data by gathering observations without intervening? So depending on your discipline and approach, you might also begin with discussions of the rationale and assumptions underpinning your methodology. Next, step 2, describe your methods of data collection. So once you have introduced your overall methodological approach, you should give full details of your data collection methods. So in quantitative research, for valid generalizable results, you should describe your methods in enough detail for another researcher to replicate your study. So you will explain how you operationalized concepts and measured your variables, your sampling method or inclusion or exclusion criteria, and any tools, procedures, and materials you use to gather data. In qualitative research, since methods are often more flexible and subjective, it's important to reflect on the approach you took and explain the choices you made. So, discuss the criteria you used to select participants or sources, the context in which the research was conducted, and the role you played in collecting the data, whether you are an active participant or a passive observer. Step 3, describe your methods of analysis. So next, you should indicate how you processed and analyzed the data. Avoid going into too much detail. You should not start presenting or discussing any of your results at this stage. So, in quantitative research, your analysis will be based on numbers. In the method section, you might include how you prepare the data before analyzing. Example, checking for missing data, removing outliers, or transforming variables. Next, which software you use to analyze the data. Then lastly, which statistical test you used. Example, two-tailed t-test or simple linear regression. In qualitative research, your analysis will be based on language, images, and observations. So, specific methods might include first, content analysis, or categorizing and discussing the meaning of words, phrases, and sentences. Next, thematic analysis, which is coding and closely examining the data to identify broad themes and patterns. And lastly, discourse analysis, or studying communication and meaning in relation to their social context. So the last step is evaluate and justify your methodological choices. So your methodology should make the case for why you choose these particular methods, especially if you did not take the most standard approach to your topic. Then discuss why other methods were not suitable for your objectives and show how this approach contributes new knowledge or understanding. You can acknowledge limitations or weaknesses in the approach you choose, but justify why these were outweighed by the strengths. So here are some tips in writing a strong methodology. So remember that your aim is not just to describe your methods, but to show and why you apply them, and to demonstrate that your research was rigorously conducted. First, focus on your objectives and research questions. So the methodology section should clearly show why your methods suit your objectives and convince the reader that you choose the best possible approach to answer your problem statement and research questions. So throughout the section, relate your choices back to the central purpose of your dissertation. So the second is cite relevant sources. So your methodology can be strengthened by reference to existing research in the field, either to confirm that you followed established practices for this type of research, or discuss how you evaluated different methodologies and decided on your approach, or show that you have took a novel methodological approach to address a gap in the literature. So next, write for your audience. So you must consider how much information you need to give and don't go into unnecessary detail. If you're using methods that are standard for your discipline, you probably don't need to give lots of background or justification. But if you take an approach that is less common in your field, you might need to explain and justify your methodological choices. In either case, your methodology should be a clear, well-structured text that makes an argument for your approach, not just a list of technical details and procedures. So lastly, discuss obstacles. So if you encountered difficulties in collecting or analyzing data, explain how you dealt with them. Show how you minimize the impact of any unexpected obstacles. Preempt any major critiques of your approach and demonstrate that you made the research as rigorous as possible. So thank you for watching.